I'm Kevin O'Hara for Alcohol Mastery, and this is Stop Drinking Alcohol Week 43. This week on the website I've added a search box over on the in the sidebar on the right hand side, and you can go down and click on it, and there's a little drop down box and you can see all the old archives, so you can see the videos from the beginning. It's all done per month, so month by month. So I just thought I'd add that, as somebody said it to me that they found it hard to navigate through the site. So at least until I can find something better, at least it's some way to be able to go back and look at the old videos. I've also applied to and been accepted onto iTunes, so I'll leave a link down the bottom of this post, or you can see it on there'll be a link in the sidebar again on the website. Basically it's just the audio of the videos for now, so later on I hope to be able to do something better, do some proper weekly podcasts and do some interviews, that kind of thing. So if you have any suggestions, I'd love to hear them, so if you have any suggestions, leave them down below in the comments. Also, if you're listening to these on iTunes, there's an advantage in that you don't have to look at this ugly face. But if you hear me, all this mad breathing and stuff like that, I'm actually out in the hills around the where I live, and I'm going up and down, so sometimes the breathing gets a bit mad. So that's all it is now, it's just breathing from walking. This week I wanted to talk a little bit about the language of addiction from my perspective. You all know that I hate the words alcoholic and alcoholism and relapse and recovery and all that crap. It's all good for the medical profession to use that, but when you start using it for yourself, especially when you've quit and you're trying to kick the habit, I think it's just counterproductive. In terms of my own experience with this language of addiction, when my son was over at Christmas before I quit, we were sat on the balcony and we'd been out, we'd had a few drinks and stuff, and I brought up the subject of quitting drinking, and I told him that I was going to quit. He was asking me why, and I basically said to him that I was an alcoholic, and he got this horrified look on his face, and he got really quite upset about me using the word alcoholic, and he basically said, "No, you're not an alcoholic." And I can understand why he said it, because there's such a negative connotation to that word in the society that we live. If you think about it, it's the only drug in the modern world where when you actually quit, you've got a problem. When you're taking it, there's no problem at all, But when you quit, there's a problem. And I've had people coming up to me with pity, Seriously. Even after they say to me, "Jesus, you look so much better now, You look fitter and you look healthier. It's done you good." And they're sat there lashing back the alcohol with the big red noses and the fat bellies. And they're looking at me, and you can see it in their eyes that they think that I've got a problem. Let's get it clear here. I'm not the one with the problem. I don't have a problem anymore. I'm not the one sat there shoveling poison down my throat anymore, When you quit drinking, it's something that you can do for yourself, is you can hold your head up high and you can say that you're no longer stupid enough to pour poison inside your body. You're no longer killing yourself. You're no longer putting your health in jeopardy because of your drinking. Because you're putting alcohol inside yourself. And I know that might sound like it's okay for me to say because I've quit. That's the way it is. I have quit. And I'm saying, when I was drinking, you just kid yourself that it's not doing you any harm. quitting drinking for me was a fairly straightforward process. I knew that I was going to quit. But I know exactly what it's like to go through time and time and time again, and to sabotage yourself when you're trying to stop doing something, stop a bad habit. When I quit smoking, it was terrible. And much of the time I was my own worst enemy because of the language I was using with myself inside my own head. I'd say, I can't do this, I can't stop smoking. You know, it's killing me, you know, this is killing me, stopping smoking, you know. And I used to do things like, I'd say to myself, oh well, look, I'll smoke now for the night, you know, and then I'll quit drinking, or I'll just have the one, I'll just have a pull, I'll just have the one cigarette, I'll just buy the one packet, just smoke for the night, maybe just for the weekend. Sure, I'll quit next week, you know. I just smoke for the week and see, because I know I can quit now, you know. I always knew at the back of my head that it was all bollocks, you know, that I'd go back on it again. I'd be smoking again, full time, in no time. Even if I give up, you know, I'd smoke for a day and then I'd be able to stop for a while, and I'd smoke again and I'd be able to stop. I'd still go back on it full time. Anyway, after that rather mad video, I'll give it a break now. So until next time, my name's Kevin O'Hara for Alcohol Mastery. Onwards and upwards.